Śākyamuni.
Greetings everyone. Today I want to share a story of how the Buddha exposed the Brahmin woman's fabricated pregnancy accusation. During the long monsoon season, when the sky hung low and heavy with rain, a group of Brahmins gathered in secret. Their influence had waned, and they blamed the Buddha for it. Too many young men, they said, had abandoned the old ways to follow the path of the enlightened one. Driven by resentment, they devised a plan. They sought out a young Brahmin woman named Beautiful, impressionable, and eager for approval. They told her that the decline of the Brahmins was the Buddha's doing, that he was luring the youth away from their sacred tradition. If she would help them to reveal the Buddha, she would be remembered as the one who defended their faith. Stirred by their words, agreed to help them. From that day on, she began appearing at Jetavana Monastery. She wore elegant silk saris and carried fresh flowers in her hands. But she never entered the Dharma hall. Instead, she lingered outside waiting for the crowds to disperse. At first, when people asked why she was there, she only smiled. A few days later, she began offering vague replies. I go where I need to go. Weeks passed, and her words grew bolder. I am going to see the ascetic Gautama. Finally, she let her voice carry just enough for others to hear. Spending the night at Jetavana is quite pleasant. Her hints were like small thorns, subtle, but sharp enough to pierce the minds of the listeners. Doubt began to stir, though no one dared question the Buddha. Sikhi's scheme was beginning to take effect. Weeks passed. Sikh appeared at a Dharma gathering. Her belly was visibly swollen. She had strapped a wooden block beneath her clothing. The Buddha was teaching, his voice calm and steady, when Sikh suddenly rose to her feet. Master Gautama, you speak so eloquently, and people hold you in such high esteem, yet you ignore me, the poor woman whose belly you have made swell. This child is yours. Will you take responsibility for your own flesh and blood? A wave of agitation swept through the crowd. Every eye turned toward the Buddha. He merely smiled faintly and replied, Girl, only you and I know whether what you say is true. The crowd could no longer contain their shock. Several people rose to their feet in anger. In that moment, fear seized Sikh. She suddenly felt exposed, terrified that the crowd might turn on her and beat her. She looked around, searching for a way out, but in her panic, she stumbled and fell. As she struggled to stand, a large round block of wood slipped from beneath her garments and dropped to the ground, landing squarely on her foot. She cried out in pain, clutching her nearly crushed toes. Her belly, now flat again, betrayed the lie. The crowd let out a collective sigh of relief. Some burst into laughter. Others hurled words of scorn at her. Sikh was overwhelmed with shame, and tears streamed down her face. The nun Kem stepped forward, gently took Sikh by the arm, and led her out of the hall. Once they had gone, the Buddha resumed his discourse, just as before, as if nothing at all had happened. This story reveals the Buddha's composure and profound wisdom. Confronted with malice and false accusation, he dissolved the crisis with a gentle smile and a response born of insight, displaying the depth of his inner calm and unwavering steadiness. At the same time, it shows us how fragile falsehood truly is, reminding us that when we face suspicion or hostility, we must remain serene and discerning, holding fast to the truth within our own hearts. Guru